Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Obviously, last night did not go the way that we wanted it to go. And look, we can sit here on the day after. We can make all the excuses in the world. We can talk about the lightning delay. We can talk about the slow start from Joe Milton in this offense. We can talk about Austin Peay and how they were able to play loose with nothing to lose, honestly, going forward on fourth down. Some of the play calls, the double passes, they threw everything they could at Josh Heupel and this Tennessee football team. But look, at the end of the day, excuses don't matter. I mean, was Tennessee maybe looking ahead to Florida this upcoming Saturday? Maybe. Doesn't matter. Excuses do not matter. And, one of the worst things about a game like this is our fan base. As much as I love them, at times I hate our fan base. We turn on each other. We're all looking for somebody to blame, whether it's a player, a coach, or if you want to blame somebody on the internet. Look, people are blaming me because I called this a glorified scrimmage. But guess what? Here we sit on Sunday morning. It was a glorified scrimmage. Tennessee just did not show up for said scrimmage, and they missed out on a huge opportunity, an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for development, to get some young guys out there, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. You missed the opportunity to let Nico get some in-game action with live bullets flying when it actually counts. But I feel like as fans, we want to blame somebody else. If somebody has a differing opinion, we immediately go on the attack. We can't have a civil conversation because we're so upset that our football team only beat Austin Peay 30-13. And look, I get it. I understand. I'm frustrated still today. This is the day after. We're supposed to take a night to sleep on it, let the emotions go away, and come back here and talk about it. But I have a feeling it's going to be a long week with a lot of negativity because Tennessee has got to get ready because they travel to the Swamp on Saturday, and that's when the season starts. How does this team respond? How do they fight back? Adversity has hit. They know that. They know that what they did last night in Neyland Stadium wasn't good enough. So how do they respond to that adversity? How do they respond in the Swamp on Saturday night, 7 p.m. kickoff? Going to be a hostile environment. Tennessee's got to get ready for that football game. This is the day after. We have had a night to sleep on it. We're going to put some thoughts together and talk about this Tennessee football game against Austin Peay. But as always, do me a favor and smash the thumbs up just below the video. It is quick, free, and easy, and it does help this channel. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be. We're not talking at you. We're talking with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We'll actually be live tonight, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be taking you all the way up to the live commitment of Chris Cole. Once that wraps up, we're going to open things up. It's going to be a fan call-in show. So all these things that you're frustrated with, all these things that are bothering you, all the stuff with Joe Milton, with the wide receivers, whatever you're upset about, you're going to have an opportunity to come on the show tonight and talk about it. But let's look at this Tennessee versus Austin Peay game. Again, Tennessee gets the win 30-13. We all know, we understand, we realize that's not good enough. Tennessee did not look very good on Saturday night. 456 yards of total offense, 228 through the air, 228 on the ground. I think if there is a strength of this football team, it is the rushing attack, average 7.1 yards per carry. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Obviously, 3 of 12 on third down is not good enough. The offense is just out of sync, right? Yeah, and that's something that Coach Jay talked about last night. Is it the rhythm? Is it the tempo? Whatever the case may be, even in the Virginia game, this offense has been out of sync. We can continue to talk about that. I think one point where they did kind of get things going in the right direction, right before halftime, Charles Campbell knocks home a 37-yard field goal, ties up the game 6-6. Obviously, none of us are happy, but the defense goes out, they force a 3-and-out, and then they respond with an 11-play, 67-yard drive. They take the lead 13-6 at the half. They come back out immediately after halftime. You get a healthy dose of Jalen Wright right down the field, and then it cap it off with Joe Milton to Ramel Keaton for a touchdown, and Tennessee takes the lead 20-6. And that was kind of all she wrote. Tennessee had the game in hand at that point. I know Austin Peay had a chance late to get one in the end zone there late in the fourth quarter, and it would have been 30-20. We would have still been just as upset then as we are now. Wouldn't really made a difference. But what is going on with this offense? Again, out of rhythm, out of sync, whatever you want to call it, and whoever you want to blame. Look, you can blame Joe Milton. You can blame the wide receivers. You can blame the offensive coordinator. A lot of people talking last night, they think that Alex Golesh is missed. I miss Alex Golesh, but I think Joey Halzle is capable. And this is Josh Heupel's offense. Josh Heupel's fingerprint is all over this offense. I don't think that is the case. But what is going on with Joe? I told you guys last week, a lot of negativity around Joe last week in the Virginia game. I thought Joe played a good football game. He wasn't perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But my honest opinion yesterday, Joe did not play good. His throws were off. His throws were behind. They were high. He skipped a couple. And you can make the argument, well, if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. You guys can debate that in the comment section. If it hits a college receiver's hands, should he catch the ball no matter what? Maybe. But the bottom line is Joe was off last night. His accuracy was not there. He was 1 for 7 with 11 yards in the first quarter. And then at one point, Joe Milton rattled off 10 or 11 straight completions. But you could see the difference in the play calling, the difference in the game plan. Look, there was a lot of stuff open over the middle of the field early, and Joe Milton could not connect. That's when he had some of the high throws, the low throws, the throw behind Brew McCoy. And then this game plan went real quick to run the football up the middle or throw the hot pass to the outside, stretch the field, try to get some yards after catch, and that's what this offense did. Those 10 throws were behind the line of scrimmage. That's all they did was turn, throw, hit the wide receiver out wide. You had some of the running backs out wide. That's what this offense was. So if you want to look at Joe Milton's stats, 21 of 33, 228 yards and 2 touchdowns, that's not a bad day at the office. But when you look at the reality of the situation, that's what changed. They started making the quick, easy throws. And you may say, well, hey, Boogie, but that may work, right? That may work. Let's just do that. I don't think that's going to work against a team like the Florida Gators on Saturday. The strength of this offense is the running game. 287 yards against Virginia, 228 yards last night against Austin Peay. And I think they could have come out and just ran the football down Austin Peay's throat all day long. But that's not what they did. Can this football team stretch the field vertically? Because that's going to be the question. How does Florida approach this game coming up on Saturday? Because Tennessee's shown the ability to run the football, but if you bring the extra guy down in the box, how is Joe Milton going to respond to that? Is Joe Milton going to be able to connect down the field? Are they going to be able to protect Joe Milton? Because I think that's going to be a big key. Joe didn't play good on Saturday. You can argue, you can say what you want. He's got to respond. He's got to bounce back against Florida. And if he doesn't, the conversation that's going to start being had is, when is it time for Nico Iamaleava? And a lot of people are going to get mad at me for that. They're going to yell at me for that. I can't believe you're calling for Nico. That's not what I'm calling. I'm challenging Joe Milton to step up and play like a sixth-year senior when you go on the road to play in the Swamp next week. That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying it's time for Nico, but I'll let you guys have that debate, that argument, that discussion in the comment section. When is it time for Nico? If Joe goes down to the Swamp and loses, are you calling for him then? I know people were chanting for him last night. That's the reality of the situation. When you sign the best player in the country, that is what is going to happen. Thought the defense played well at times. Again, Austin Peay late in the fourth quarter kind of added some yards. You had some backups in the game, but overall, thought this defense played pretty well, particularly Aaron Beasley. 9 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks, just swarming to the football. I thought Wesley Walker looked good at times. Look, as a team, 7 sacks, 14 tackles for loss. Beasley had a couple of sacks. Wesley Walker had a sack on a well-timed blitz from Tim Banks. Just a beautiful play call coming from the opposite side. They bring somebody in motion. He rolls over, comes down, perfect timing, gets home. Tyler Barron had another sack. Karot Garland had a sack. Joshua Josephs, James Pierce both added a sack. This defensive line is the strength of this football team. But again, I think Austin Peay kind of showed the counter to that, right? The getting things out quick to the wide receivers, the chop blocks. They had a good game plan coming into this football game, but I still think the Tennessee defense played well. They looked fine, did what they were supposed to do. They got to clean up these penalties. I didn't think they were that bad. The penalties were not that bad against Virginia, but last night, 10 penalties for 88 yards. You had some procedural stuff. You had a couple of PIs from Kamal Hadden. Look what happens when you turn your head and you look back for the football. Kamal Hadden has the interception. They got to coach him up better than that. I don't know if it's Willie Martinez. I don't know who has them just guarding the face and sticking the hands up. I don't like it. I've never liked it. You had a roughing the passer on Norman Lott. I thought that was kind of a weak call, but you got to clean those penalties up, man. That's the type of stuff that will cost you in the long run. Can they clean that up? Can they clean up the offense? Can they find their rhythm? Can they get in sync going on the road to play Florida? Where is your confidence level going into that game? Tennessee opens up as an 8.5-point favorite against the Gators. So is this just a slow start for Tennessee and we're exactly who we thought we were? A 9-win team, a 10-win team? Or are you concerned? Are you worried moving forward? Has your prediction changed? Are you giving up? Is this thing over? I've already seen somebody in the comments section asking about Heupel's buyout. Give me a break. Wake up and figure out what's going on, man. That get over this firing Josh Heupel nonsense. But again, Vols open as an 8.5 favorite, going on the road to play in the swamp. We know how Florida season's played out. The loss to Utah 24-11, bounced back this past week 49-7 over McNeese last night. So Tennessee has an opportunity. How do you respond? How do you respond? Joe, it's on you, brother. I'm pulling for Joe. I love Joe, but I told you guys I'm going to grade him on a week-by-week basis, and Joe Milton and this offense struggled. And I'm starting to even question the receivers, right? What are they getting separation downfield? Because at times we see Joe drop back and he goes through one read, two reads, three reads. Nobody's open. He's either getting out or throwing it away, whatever the case may be. But I'm starting to question these wide receivers. Dante Thornton, for example. McCoy, Squirrel White, Dante Thornton, they all had drops yesterday. And Thornton, through 2 games, has just been a huge disappointment. You guys know how excited I was about him coming in, his speed, his length. I thought he would have been a great fit for this offense, but is he not getting separation down the field, or has the play calling been pretty vanilla through 2 games? That's something else you guys can debate. But as always, smash a thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merch, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We appreciate all the support from you guys. Thank you to all the members of the channel. You guys keep the lights on around here. If you want to be a part of that, hit the join button down below. For just $1 a month, you get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, the band call-in show, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. Look, and I want to say it again. I get it. I understand. There's nothing wrong with being frustrated. There's nothing wrong with being mad. But when you talk to somebody else about this football game, do it with kindness. Don't be attacking people and insulting people. Like I know it. I get it. It's the internet. That's what happens. Somebody disagrees with you. You drop a counter argument, and then here come the insults. It's pathetic. It's weak. Just have civil conversations as adults. It's not that hard to do. But hopefully Tennessee bounces back and we have some positivity to talk about next week as Tennessee takes on the Gators. But it is officially Gator Hater Week, and this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.